had a viewer named Paul ask me a really important question and I want to respond. Hi Paul. Paul's been watching my channel and he wants to start living nomadically and having a location-independent income, and he said that he hears a lot of people talking about, well, you just have to put in the effort to get it done, but he was saying he doesn't really know what that means, so can I elaborate? Sure I can, and obviously there's not any one way that you can really just make a location-independent income, but there are actually a bunch of different ways to do it. Number one is that you can teach English online. Now actually recently in China they shut down the online teaching program, and I know that's devastated a lot of people's online incomes, and I really feel for those people, but there is still some availability out there to be teaching English online to people. So always be looking for companies that are offering you the chance to connect with students from around the world to teach them English. If you can focus down in, say, business English or something like that, then you can really actually find even higher paying clients who really need your expertise. And again, you don't have to be exactly an expert in English or even have an English degree to do this. You could just have an online TEFL certificate or a TESOL certificate, and that would qualify you to do a job like this. And I know there are some companies out there that will pay up to $22 an hour just to connect you. If you can do private lessons, you could probably make even more. Now, if you don't want to teach online, as long as you speak English, there are lots of places around the world where you could go and teach English in person. Now, you don't even need a degree to do this. You don't even need a TEFL or a TESOL. There are places I know where you could just walk in, and as long as you are, well presented and you can speak clearly, they are in need of English speakers. They need people there who are native speakers so their students can listen, so they will really not care at all about your qualifications. You could find places in Southeast Asia like this. You could go and make an income that will make it possible for you to live there and maybe even save a little bit of money every month. Now, if you're interested in doing something like that, I would recommend just actually going to the country that you're interested in and then walking around with a stack of resumes, with some nice clothes on or whatever, and going into places that offer services like that to students, whether they're young kids or whether they're older people. Just go in, talk to the business owners, let them know that you're looking for a job, and just by presenting yourself there, you might be able to set yourself apart from the crowd, because they might get lots of applications online, but who knows if those people are actually going to fly into the country to come to that job. They really need people, so you can actually do the footwork to go find jobs teaching. Now, it doesn't even necessarily have to be in English. If you do have a college degree, mine is in biology, for example, so I was able to get a math teaching job in Hong Kong. Now, you could do the same thing teaching whatever you have a degree in. Because mine is certainly not a teaching degree, it's just a biology degree, but it was still enough to satisfy the requirements to become a teacher there. Now, if you hear that and I'm only talking about going abroad and teaching or teaching online, and you're thinking, hey Nick, I don't want to do that, I don't want to teach, I don't want to be stuck in a classroom, I don't want to be working with just language all the time, I want to do something else, I'm an outdoorsy person, I want to do something like that. Well, that's totally possible as well. For example, consider getting a scuba diving certificate. You could go to Thailand, you could live on one of their islands where they have diving programs. You could become a either master scuba diver or an actual scuba diver instructor for about $3,000 to $4,000 it would cost you, but then you would be certified to teach scuba all around the world. You could spend 3 months in Mexico, 3 months in Brazil, 3 months in Thailand, and then 3 months in the Philippines, and you can easily see how you could spend your life in 4 different places around the world teaching something you love to do outside all the time. But of course, this doesn't just have to apply to scuba diving. It could be free diving, it could be surfing, it could be teaching snowboarding in Whistler, Canada. Sorry about that, eh? I know when I was in Hong Kong, I saw places that needed English-speaking bartenders. If you're a nurse, you could be a travel nurse anywhere you want to go. They're in high demand all over the place. You could get onto woofing, something like that. Heck, if you're super adventurous, you could go and join the Peace Corps for 2 years and basically just get paid to travel in a way. You're not going to make a ton of money doing that, but it's going to be an awesome experience that lets you travel. However, if I had to pick just one way to make a location-independent income while I'm traveling the world, then I am going to decide on freelancing. It's the easiest, fastest way to make money, I believe, and here's some ways you can do that. First, you have to identify a skill that you can actually get paid for. Are you a photographer? Can you learn videography? Can you learn how to edit videos like this? I didn't know how to edit videos like this a couple of years ago. I learned on YouTube, and now I can take this skill, and I've used it to freelance and make videos for other people, and you can get paid a really good sum of money for that. I'm also a writer, and most of my money comes from freelance writing. So identify a skill that you can provide to other people, and you can use that as a freelance career. A lot of businesses need you, and they don't want to pay a full-time in-house staff to do said job. So there's a lot of businesses out there who want a writer or a photographer or a videographer or a designer or a website maintainer or something like that, and you can make money all the time online. Now, once you've identified your skill, you need to create a portfolio for yourself. If you're a writer like me, for example, I might go out and write 5 free articles just to have the portfolio available, and then I can go up to clients and say, hey, this is what I've written, it's in your niche, now why don't you hire me? If you're not comfortable cold calling clients like that, I totally understand. Thankfully, there's a lot of websites who cater to people like us as freelancers. There's Upwork.com, there's Fiverr.com, there's peopleperhour.com. There are a lot of places online, even LinkedIn, where you could go and find jobs remotely like this. If you're going to use one of those websites like Upwork or Fiverr or People Per Hour, I want you to understand something that is really serious about this, because a lot of people will, talk badly about those places. They'll say it's unfair, XYZ, all these reasons why it doesn't work. But the truth is, it's just a competitive marketplace, and you're entering at the bottom. So for example, when I started freelance writing on Upwork, I had to write an entire book for $10. That's the first thing I did there, because I knew I wasn't writing the book for the money. I was writing the book to get that 5-star review, because that's what the bigger clients on the website are looking for. They're looking for the people who are on those platforms who have a lot of 5-star reviews, and once they can trust you through those reviews, that's when you can really get paid. So I went from making $10 to writing a book to now my standard on Upwork is listed at $75 an hour. And a big hint is that when you are a freelancer, you don't actually have to give people your hourly rate, because let's say someone wants to give me, 4 hours of work to write a paper for them. Well, I'm a really fast writer, so I can get it done in 1 hour. So while they might think they're paying me for 4 hours at $300, I'm making that project finished and completed in 1 hour. Now, if you want to attempt this and be a freelancer and make money like this online, one of the best tips I can give you right now is that you have to treat every single client like they're a 5-star client for you. That's why I did that book for $10. That's why I worked so hard on it. I got a really good review. I treated that person like they were paying me $1 million for that book, and then they treated me like I had worked that hard. Now, if you can do that with every single client, if you can work super hard for them, if you can keep them up to date, if you can stay in contact with them and treat them like they are the 5-star client that is most important to you, then you are going to continuously build your income and your reputation, and you can easily build a career like that. Of course, you should also always be working on your own skills too. So as a writer, when I first started writing blog posts, for example, for businesses, I didn't really understand the formatting all the time, or I didn't take criticism very well from people. But after a while, as I built my skills and I looked at who was out there doing really well in my niche, that's when I really started to get better and make a lot more money, because I built on my own skills and clients saw that. And as you are building that reputation and building your skills, and clients keep coming to you and wanting more, that's when you can really start raising your prices and start negotiating for better wages. And before you know it, you have a full-time, location-independent income where you're traveling the world and living the life that you want to live.